Hello, my name is Dr. Joni Jefferson, and I'm a cosmetic physician here at Reflections. I specialize in non surgical procedures such as injectables and technology. When we're consulting with patients, one of the most common goals that patients often want is to look natural. They want to look like nothing's been done, but they also want to look refreshed. They want to look more youthful. And it's important as a physician that we really analyze the proportions of patients, look at their bone structure, and really take into effect their cultural and ethnic differences because you don't want to put filler in someone in areas that are not indicated. For example, if someone has full lips, we don't want to put filler there. Or if someone has prominent jaw structure or cheek structure, we might recommend against placing filler or maybe recommend other treatments that complement one's already natural anatomy. As I mentioned, it's important to look at cultural and ethnic variations so that we can make a patient look more natural. For the longest time, the standard of beauty was measured against the golden ratio, also known as phi. This was discovered by Leonardo da Vinci. The golden ratio kind of represents how one measures the anatomy of the nose in respective to the lips in respective to the eyes. The golden ratio, also known as phi, is a measurement of 1 to 1.6. However, that ratio was based upon European standards. As we are becoming more of a diverse population, that is starting to change, and research is showing that the standard of beauty is more encompassing of a lot of different cultures and ethnicities. For example, you might see that African women tend to have larger, fuller lips, wider noses. Asian Americans tend to have also wider noses, wider broad structure in terms of their cheeks. Caucasian women tend to have smaller lips, and smaller noses. But all the dimensions are, like I said, are changing in terms of everyone kind of wanting this multicultural appearance, which is now representing as the standard of beauty. It's important for you to understand that you are uniquely beautiful. And as our job as cosmetic physicians is to kind of hone into that and develop that so that your look is specific for you and your taste and your preference. We want to make patients look as natural as possible, and that's the goal that most patients often ask for. Again, as I mentioned before, it's important to take into account when we're looking at placement filler or injectables, the dimensions of each specific person in relation to their culture and ethnic background and what it is that they prefer. For example, if we have an African American female who is requesting lip filler, and the person already has full lips, we might make a recommendation that maybe we will enhance other components to kind of build the proportion so that it looks a little bit more even and a little bit more natural. Or if we have a European or Caucasian woman who is requesting lip fillers and they already have thin lips, then that might be a good recommendation to apply filler to that particular area to kind of balance out the ratios and the dimensions of their face. So let me talk to you a little bit more in depth about the golden ratio and what that actually means. The golden ratio, or phi, was developed by Leonardo da Vinci back in the 1400s. And what he came up with was a ratio that compares the dimensions of the eyes in respective to the nose and the distance from the nose from the lips. This standard was based upon European measures, all right? So when you look about the ratio is 1 to 1.6 for Caucasians in terms of the respective ratio from the nose height to the lips. In African American women, the ratio is about a 1 to 1 ratio. In Asians, the ratio is about a 1 to 1.25 degree of difference. And what that's looking at is the width of the lips in perspective to measuring up to the mid pupil of the eyes, with the nose being, half distance of the lip proportions. And all of that, like I mentioned, is related to the golden ratio or 5. In order to establish that natural look, we don't want to change one's dimensions or what their natural bone structure looks like, but we want to enhance it a little bit. So we try to select fillers to soften up certain dimensions but with keeping everything in a certain ratio. For example, if someone is requesting fuller lips, we don't want to fill their lips so that the width of their lips exceeds beyond the width of their eyes, because that will look weird. Or if someone is requesting a little bit of volume in their cheeks, we don't want to overfill the cheeks so that it looks out of proportion to their lips or out of proportion to their eyes, because it might make their eyes look a little bit smaller, a little bit beady, or it might make their lips look very thin and narrow. When you're selecting a provider, it's important that during the consultation that they give you a great understanding of your specific anatomy so that they can make you look as natural as possible. If you found this video helpful, please give us a thumbs up. And if you'd like to learn more about our treatment options, please subscribe to our channel.